For today's station setup, we've got the ladder line running down the silo across the grass. It comes up here to join me at the table with the 705. And what I've got going on today, the 705, as we all know, doesn't have a tuner built in, but I've got a quick little coax jumper here. There's going to be a link for this. This is a little 1-foot jumper. There's a link for this down in the description to get it off of Amazon if you need one. And then I've got the Elecraft T1 with a banana plug adapter. So I want to see if I can get this thing all set up. I'm going to hook the ladder line straight into the banana plug adapter. I'm going to plug the coax jumper into the T1 tuner. I'm going to plug that into the 705 and we're going to see what happens. Let me get that all set up. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is figure out how well this tuner works on different bands. This is the 160 meter band, and it's not the right time of day for 160, but that kind of doesn't matter for checking out whether the tuner works or not. And if you recall from some of my previous videos, I did the same exercise with the G90, but now we've got the 705. We're going to see how this works, and if we get a good band and maybe some activity, we might make a couple of contacts. I don't know. What I do for my tune is I use the RIDI mode, because what you want to do is you want to put some energy out onto the wire so that you can see that energy reflected back. If you are in, let's say, single sideband as an example, and you key up the PTT, it's picking up my voice. If you key up the PTT, see how little bit of signal came out there? And then I start talking and it can pick me up when I start talking. You're going to need to put a signal out in order for the tuner to see the reflected signal come back in order to get some kind of measurement. So CW does not put that out unless you have voice and your voice is not solid. Sorry, SSB. I said CW because I was looking at it. CW puts out a carrier when you do the key down, but then you have to be in straight key mode in order for that to work, which is fine. I use a paddle, so I would have to switch back and forth and back and forth. RIDI, on the other hand, puts out a carrier. It's pretty straightforward. You can see the carrier come out right there. And then AM will do the same thing. AM will put out a carrier in the center, and then it'll also do your voice on both sides. So what we've got going on here is 160 meters. I'm going to do RIDI, and then we've got the tuner. So let's go and look at what the meter shows us right now for the SWR, which is right down here. Yeah, you can't even see that because of the glare. Let me change camera angles, see if we can get the glare in the opposite direction. Hang on. Okay, so changing camera angles didn't work all that well, but where there's a ham, there's a way. And what I found was a nice little green Rubbermaid tote. I put the radio inside the tote and now you can see it. So what I wanted to show you was this SWR meter right here. If I key up the mic, you'll see that I'm way out of range. There's zero match on this antenna. So let's take a look at the Elecraft T1 tuner and see what it says. This one shows up a little bit better because it doesn't have a reflective screen. This is pretty straightforward to use. This is a pretty simple little device. I love this thing. The instructions are written right on it, and then it only has a couple of different buttons on it, and it speaks to you with some LED lights right here, and it blinks them in Morse code. So the first thing I need to do is turn it on, and then it'll light up to tell me that it's on, and then I need to hold it for a couple of seconds, and that light will go green. And then if I key up the mic, it will try to tune. And it was not able to find a match on 160. And I didn't really expect it to, just because the G90 didn't do it, so why would this do it? But that clicking that you heard is the sound of relays moving in and out of circuit and changing the capacitance and the inductance and so on. So trying to find a better match. Let's go down to 3.5, which is 80 meters. Let's find an open spot on the scope. It looks like 80, I'm turning the wrong knob, I don't know why I'm doing that. It looks like 80 meters isn't really doing all that much in terms of being open right now either. A little bit of noise, but not a whole heck of a lot going on. Okay, so we're still in the same mode. Let's go back to the meter, see what the meter says about SWR. And we're still off the charts. So what we're gonna do is come over to the tuner again. We're gonna tap until that light turns green. We're gonna key up. You can hear it trying. And there we go, a little over 1.5 to 1, and the tuner's happy. Now the cool thing about this tuner here is that it runs off of a 9-volt battery that fits inside, and the 9-volt battery, when you remove it, fits in backwards, so you can store it without the battery in. And the way that the relays are set up is they stay where you last left them when you remove power. So I'm still tuned even though the tuner doesn't have any power to it anymore. Let's put the power back in so we can try some other bands, because it looks like 80 is shut right now. Turn that back over. Let's go to 40. I was making contacts all over the place on 40 this morning. Is the frequency in use? Kilo Mike 9 Golf. Alright, no response back on that. Let's check the SWR. And we're at infinity SWR again, because the tuner, if you recall, is locked to where it was before. Let's turn it back on. And we get the yellow light saying it's on. All right, and we've got 1-to-1 SWR on that. Let's try 14. 20 meters is pretty busy this morning. Is the frequency in use? Kilo Mike 9 Golf. Back into RIDI mode, and we're at infinite SWR again. Just heard somebody in there. Is the frequency in use? Kilo Mike 9 Golf. All right, let's come back over here and switch this into tune mode. Lights up. And like 1.2 to 1 is what that sounds like. Let's try a different band. So far we've missed 1.8, we got 3.5, we got 7, we got 14. We didn't try 10. All right, find a clear portion on the band. Switch it over to the meter. Out of tune, not by much. All right, we tuned up on that one. That looks like 1.2, 1.3 to 1. Let's switch over to 18. Looks good. SWR is already pretty good. Let's see what the tuner thinks. Okay, put some power out, and the tuner's not, and the SWR is not happy. And we tune that right up. 1.3, 1.4 to 1, not bad. What else do we have? 21. All right, that looks clear. Off the charts. One to 1. 24. Looks clear. 1.5. Let's see if we can touch it up. Nope, no real touch up on that one. It was already pretty good from the last tune that we had on it. 28. Looks clear. Off the charts. Not bad. 50. 50 looks pretty clear. Off the charts. Can this thing tune 50? I don't even know if this tuner is good for 50. It's trying. Oh, not bad at all. All right. So that's the tuner in action. Let's go back to 14. There was some activity on 14. And this is still, the tuner itself is locked in for 50. So we're still at the tune for 50 megahertz. So let's hit the tuner up. There we go. So this thing, it doesn't have any built-in memory, and that's fine because I'm going to be out in the field with a tuner like this, and that's going to mean different ground conditions, that's going to mean different antennas, that's going to mean a whole bunch of different stuff all over the place. But so far, this tuner did a pretty good job with the 705. We were able to get a tune on 3.5 all the way down to 50, and with this antenna, I wouldn't expect anything on, yeah, we're off the charts on that. I wouldn't expect anything on 2 meters. That's my all-star hotspot in the house, re-identifying itself. So I don't want to transmit on that because it'll go out on the internet. Okay, I don't know what happened, but I lost my, the camera stopped recording when I started trying to tune up 2 meters. Maybe it doesn't want me to try it, but if we take a look, we are off the charts on 2 meters. Let's put it into tune mode. And it wasn't happy that time. Let's try it again. There we go. We got a nice tune 1-to-1 on 2 meters on a 100-meter doublet. Since we're doing crazy stuff, let's go to 70 centimeters. We're at 3-to-1 on 70 centimeters right now. Hit the tune button. Key up, and we got down to 2.5-to-1. That's not too bad, but I'm really impressed that this little tuner got it done. The big key to this is you have to hold this button down, wait for that light to turn green, and then key up the transmitter. And it will detect a match or a mismatch, and then it will attempt to rectify that mismatch, and it will go.
Roger, roger. Thanks for holding me in, 73. All right, it's our pleasure. Thank you. This is November 4, Sierra Alpha, QRZ special event.
Kilo Mike 9 Golf.
Let me swing the beam back there to the north. I had a weak station calling.
Was it me?
Okay. QRZ special event, November 4, Sierra Alpha.
Kilo Mike 9 Golf.
Got somebody right at my noise level.
That's probably me.
Right at the noise level, not quite picking you up there. You'll try it again in a few minutes here, and we'll see if we can do it there. Also, we'll be on the air various band modes for the rest of the weekend here through Sunday at 0 So why don't you give it another try, but really wasn't copying much of that.
Kilo Mike 9 Golf. KM9G. Kilo Mike 9 Golf.
November 4, Sierra Alpha.
Yep, they didn't get me and they moved on. That's QRP for you.
CQ, parks on the air. Kilo Charlie 3, Juliet Alpha Sierra. Park Kilo 0781 CQ.
Kilo Mike 9 Golf.
Kilo Mike Station, you're really very soft. Can you come back?
Kilo Mike 9 Golf. KM9G. Kilo Mike 9 Golf. You are 59 Wisconsin, 59 Whiskey Indigo, 59 QSL. Not bad at all. All right, copy that. Thank you very much for the 5-4. Thanks for activating the park. 73. This is Kilo Mike 9 Golf, KM9G. I copy the 5-4 signal report. I appreciate the park activation. 73.
73.
Perfect. All right, gets it done every time. You just have to find a good contact and find a good spot on the band and find good band conditions and, of course, find a great day. And today is a great day. This is Kilo Mike 9 Golf, the QRP station, checking in for a post-action wrap-up. So we had the 100-meter doublet. I always want to say dipole because I'm just so familiar with saying dipole, but it's a doublet. It's a 100-meter doublet. It's 50 meters of wire on each side into 65 feet, I believe, of ladder line. There is a build video for it in the channel. I will link in the description down below. We had the 705, we had the Elecraft T1 tuner. Both of them worked fantastic. We were able to tune up everything from 80 through 70 centimeters on a 100-meter doublet. 70 centimeters might have been a little pushing it at 2-to-1, but I think you can make a contact on 2-to-1, but this would not be the antenna to put up for 70 centimeter work. This is, I don't know. I like doing insane stuff. This was insane. We'll see you in the next one. Thanks for being awesome.